Hey everyone, how's it going? So I want to talk about Rick Grimes' official return here, in some sense anyways, but he is actually returning, which is kind of exciting, and it's going to be in Dead by Daylight. This is a really big update that a lot of us have been really waiting for a very long time now, and yeah, they did confirm this like a week ago. Again, I was like busy a lot this last week, and so I'm really catching up on a lot of news here, but I do want to talk about Dead by Daylight and this big update here that they actually got for the game. I'm going to be streaming this when the game actually does come out, so definitely go follow me on Twitch or subscribe here as well on YouTube because I might actually stream on here. I'm not entirely sure yet of that, but I might just choose to stream here, which would be different, but I think that could be a lot of fun. But yeah, anyways, make sure to be a subscriber if you want to get all my Walking Dead content, especially Dead by Daylight. I do want to do some videos on Dead by Daylight, like just playing, and like it'll be more fun stuff, obviously, like fun gameplay videos because it's a summer right now and everything, and I do want to start doing more fun videos like that, just like different types of videos, so yeah, stay tuned for a lot of that. But the first thing that I guess we should get into is the actual trailer that they released here for Dead by Daylight. This was like really cool. Like this is like classic Walking Dead, like the classic Walking Dead intro from obviously the original series. Well, actually before season 9 because they changed it right going into season 9 because it was a new beginning. And I do think like when you look at both intros overall, I do prefer the original, but it really is only like I can also defend the fact that at the time I really wanted there to be a change, like going into season 9. So, and I really did like the change. I like both intros. It's just that looking back at it now overall, I do miss this intro. I thought that, the intro for the original series, the very first one, worked really well, and it's also the music as well. The main theme song is just amazing. I think the spin-off songs are great and they do work. It's not the same thing, obviously. I don't think they're trying to be the same thing, so they don't really necessarily need to. But this intro, though, is really cool. Like, you see Rick and Michonne here, and it says that they're missing, right? And so I imagine that that's going to be a big part of the story of the game here, is that they just basically went missing. And, that kind of ties into the ones who live because they were gone for a while, right? So it's kind of cool to see them actually here. You do see a shot of Daryl as well, which is really interesting. So Daryl is actually going to be a character here in this game. And so that was the one thing that I was really interested in, was which characters were going to be appearing here. Because I knew that Rick and Michonne made a lot of sense. Daryl was a character that I was just like, he has to make an appearance though, because like The Walking Dead Daryl Dixon season 3 is literally coming out in like a month and a half from now. A little bit more than that maybe, but I was just like, Daryl showing up in this game is perfect right now. Like, this would be amazing marketing because this is AMC, right? So this would be really good to do this, and that's exactly what they did here. And Daryl's actually going to be, I believe the cosmetic for this is a legendary outfit or whatever, and you get to actually play as Daryl. So I'm excited for that. The update's actually going to be out on July 29th. And so for those wondering when this update is coming, it's on July 29th. And the one thing that I do want to point out as well is that Andrew Lincoln and Norman Reedus both actually provided their voices for the game here. So that's really amazing. That is like, I don't know why Denai Guerrera never did, because I feel like, it's Dead by Daylight. Like, it's a pretty popular game, but it is what it is. Like, we have Rick and Daryl at least. And so, I think that that's going to make it a lot better because, just having Andrew Lincoln's voice there, the fact that he's like okay with that and all of that, like, that's sort of one of the things that I think for the Walking Dead Destinies really hurt that game. There's a lot of other things, obviously, but I think for that game specifically, it was the fact that a lot of the characters weren't voiced by the original actors, and some characters sounded more like other characters. And it was just, I'm not even going to get into that because that was just, that game was honestly just so embarrassing. But so to have Andrew Lincoln and Norman Reedus actually provide their voice, I think is really cool. Like, especially for Andrew Lincoln, because just him being involved with The Walking Dead. And I will say, I think this is going to be something that reignites, I think, a lot of, excitement for The Walking Dead, because The Walking Dead right now, honestly, it would be really easy to make things super exciting. And it's one of the things that I think is very frustrating with The Walking Dead. And I do want to talk about that because, you know, I did see a comment or something. I don't know when it was probably in the last like 3 weeks or something, but someone was saying that, you know, like you need more like creators and stuff, I guess, like me, to maybe hold Gimple accountable or whatever, just sort of mentioning things about how things should be for the Walking Dead universe, you know, just to be able to sort of like just put that out there and be like, we need these changes, or like things need to be more like this because everyone's feeling more like this. And I just thought at first, like, I don't know about that. That's, I don't know. Like, I don't think they're watching my videos or anything like that. But I guess I have heard that, yeah, you know, like they have. But I guess it's one of those things where, you know, I guess I do want to talk about it a little bit more, just in terms of, and I have though, like with the overall excitement. It's something that is very easy for them to change, right? Like, for them to actually make things really exciting, it's a very simple thing to do. There just hasn't been the effort there to do it, because I think that they're trying to rely on like the characters really just being there and being excited for everything. Like, I would say Norman Reedus honestly does a lot for The Walking Dead Daryl Dixon. Like, whenever it's Sunday, there's always like a post, I feel like, that he's posting about like, oh, new episodes on kind of thing, right? Or he's updating a lot of stuff, posting things about, you know, just what he's doing or whatever. And there's a lot of excitement there for The Walking Dead Daryl Dixon, right? For The Walking Dead Dead City, there wasn't a lot of talk about it at all. There really wasn't a lot of just like promotion for it, I would say, everywhere. They did stuff like right at the end, or like right when the show was about to come out, right? And somewhat during, but I would say that for The Walking Dead Daryl Dixon, the promotion has been absolutely insane. And again, having the character in Dead by Daylight is also something. Also Behind the Dead, you know, like that's something that they've been doing weekly every single Monday. That's also a really great thing. So for the month of July, they've been doing really great stuff here for The Walking Dead. And I think that, you know, if this means that we're going to get some more info at Comic-Con, or there's going to be a lot more there, that's going to be really incredible, because I think that that's what we need. Like, having these characters here in this game, a very popular game, is going to be really, really big for The Walking Dead, and also for Dead by Daylight as well, because, you know, there's a lot of fans of both. And I think that it just makes a lot of sense. Like, this is something that they've been wanting to do for a very, very long time now. And I'm happy that they're actually doing it, because honestly, it's been, I mean, many, many years that there's been like this, you know, wanting of Dead by Daylight and The Walking Dead to do a collaboration like this. And so we're finally getting it here. I'm really, really excited. Honestly, the trailer for this looks really great. Just all of the callbacks to everything, and just seeing the fact that The Walking Dead and Dead by Daylight are actually collabing now is like, it's just really cool to see. It really is. In terms of the specifics here, so the characters do have like different outfits, I will say, overall. Like, there is the hospital gown Rick, and there's also, I guess, Rick from season 8, and Murder Jacket Rick. For Michonne, I don't actually know what the outfits are as of right now, and for Daryl as well, I don't know what the outfits are. I don't know if it's just going to be a normal vest or whatever, but you know, for Rick, there might be other outfits, I imagine. You know, there could be just like different shirts that he was wearing or something like that. But as of right now, just sort of from what I've seen, it's just been that. And again, this update is happening on July 29th, which I'm really excited about. Now, to get into some of my complaints about this so far, I will say, I mean, actually, this is not a complaint, but I think the likeness of the characters is really great here, because, I mean, if you just look at The Walking Dead Destinies, that was horrible. There's been some other, you know, character models that I think just have looked really, if not like horrible, it was just like okay. But if you actually look at the character models for the game here, they're actually very, very well done. And I think that you know, having the actors voicing the characters as well is just absolutely incredible. I think that, honestly, overall, I don't have a lot of complaints about this. I just think that for the villain, I think they should have had a villain character. Like everybody's bringing up Negan. I think that if you have Negan there, it's one of those things where it's like, I don't know, like he just feels like too much of other characters. I think that the only thing you really could have done would be like bringing Beta there, right? Like some of the Whisperers. I think that would be really cool. Like to have Beta there. I think that, I mean, first of all, like he looks like a walker, so it sort of ties into, you know, like the fact that zombies are going to be there or whatever. And I think he would have been a really cool character there. So that's my only thing is like they could have had Beta there. Maybe it was more like, well, who even knows of Beta, right? Like he's not that popular of a character to be a villain here. I don't know. I just think that a lot of people would have learned about the character because he looks really cool. Like it would have been a really awesome moment, I think, to have the character as a villain here. Besides that, though, honestly, I think that the overall update here for Dead by Daylight, which is happening on July 29th, is going to be really, really exciting, and I just cannot wait for it. I really can't. Like, I think that this is something that's going to really make The Walking Dead very exciting for a while. I think that you will see an increase in excitement because Dead by Daylight is really popular. You know, a lot of people do play it, and especially bringing The Walking Dead there, like, their posts about it, everything with The Walking Dead, have just been blowing up a lot. Like, this is an update that people have been wanting for a while, so this is exciting. I really can't wait. And yeah, I'm happy that this is actually all real here because there's been rumors about this for the last month or two that I've been talking about, but we actually have the official trailer and everything here for yeah, I guess Rick Grimes' return, right, to The Walking Dead in some way. Like, the reason why it feels like it's his return in some way is because Andrew Lincoln actually voiced, or he provided his voice here for the game. So that's why, to me, it feels a lot more like, oh, it's some sort of project that, you know, he allowed his voice to be in and everything. And it's more current, right? Like, it's happening right now after The Ones Who Lived. Like, that's just very cool to me. And yeah, so I can't wait to see what this update's going to look like here and what's going to be announced at Comic-Con, if anything. I mean, I hope that they do announce some more stuff, but stay tuned for another Walking Dead Daryl Dixon video because I do want to talk about some of the Comic-Con stuff because we're actually getting some artwork that is actually going up right now, and I do want to talk about that because the artwork for this show looks really, really great. There's a character that almost looks like a walker that is using a weapon, and I don't know if that's what I'm seeing, but yeah, I do have to talk about that. So anyways, I'm gonna leave it here. Definitely post all your thoughts down below. Hope you all enjoyed the video, and I'll see you in the next one.